Denmark is already well known for its innovation and sustainability efforts, and it continues to embark on new ambitious ventures to reshape its energy landscape, most notably with the new idea of energy islands. These are artificial islands that have been strategically located in the North and Baltic Seas, marking a significant leap in Denmark's objective to utilize renewable energy and its departure from fossil fuels and other non-renewable energy resources. So today, we'll delve into the historical context of Denmark's energy infrastructure, intricate details regarding energy islands, criticism, and the overarching question of whether the advantages of Denmark's energy islands outweigh the challenges and expenditure. Denmark's journey of obtaining renewable energy traces back to the 1970s, when it became the pioneer in developing commercial wind power to remove dependency on imported fossil fuels. Not only was it better for the country's economy by lowering imports, but also it was an investment for the future, as the sources for renewable energy are never depleted. As a result, wind farms began dotting the Danish countryside, making Denmark the first nation to capitalize on wind energy technology. In the very next decade, climate change started showing its catastrophic impacts, which further motivated Denmark to fully embrace renewable energy as soon as possible. Many companies joined in the race to produce high-quality renewable energy. This led to the establishment of Vestas, which is the world's largest wind turbine manufacturer. Moreover, in 1991, Denmark further cemented its leadership in renewable energy through the construction of Vindeby, which is the world's first offshore wind farm. The Danish law also greatly contributed to this systematic move by passing bills forbidding the construction of nuclear power plants and providing funds from 38 to 50 million DKK per year. Over subsequent decades, Denmark's dedication to wind energy has intensified. Wind turbines have become more and more ubiquitous across the nation's terrain, as the country has very large offshore wind resources. Plus, there are many low-height places like the sea territory with a shallow water depth of only 5 to 15 meters. These sites have greater wind speeds, even on land. The wind speed is roughly 8.5 to 9 meters per second at almost 50-meter height. So far, wind availability and consistency have not posed any concerning problems for the government, so they've just capitalized more on it. And in 2019, after the first energy agreement was signed with a majority consensus in 2008, Denmark grew their wind power share in domestic electricity production from 19% to 55%. But that's not all. The development of Denmark's energy islands epitomizes a monumental investment in renewable energy infrastructure. With an estimated expenditure of almost 28 billion euros, the Energy Islands project aims to establish 2 artificial islands in the North and Baltic Seas by 2030. These islands will act as hubs for offshore wind farms, connecting them to onshore grids and facilitating the transmission of clean energy to Denmark and other neighboring countries. The idea might seem overly ambitious and unpractical, but it is totally plausible, and interestingly, the construction will be underway this very year. The inaugural island, situated in the North Sea, is slated to be operational by 2030, boasting a potential capacity of 10 gigawatts of offshore wind power. The second hub, positioned near Bornholm in the Baltic Sea, with an energy capacity of 3 gigawatts, will further solidify Denmark's position as a global clean energy leader. Collectively, both these islands will be sufficient to power at least 13 million European households on their own. The inception of these islands will herald a new era of energy collaboration and sustainability in the region. The idea is not only to bolster Denmark's own renewable energy infrastructure, but also extend benefits to neighboring countries by providing access to clean and reliable electricity. This will increase the nation's value and trade options in the region, improve its global soft image, and pave the way for further developmental opportunities. The North Sea Energy Island is strategically located between Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, and Norway, and emerges as a focal point for offshore wind energy production. Its central position and abundant wind resources render it an ideal location for transporting renewable energy to adjacent nations, fostering cross-border cooperation in advancing a greener and more stable future. Likewise, the energy island near Bornholm will enhance energy security and resilience in the Baltic region. It will leverage the island's proximity to other countries like Sweden, Poland, and the Baltic states. Through this, Denmark aims to catalyze greater energy integration and collaboration among Baltic Sea countries, which will lay the groundwork for a more interconnected and sustainable energy grid on the eastern side. Upon full operation, the two artificial islands are forecasted to generate an initial combined total of 8 to 10 gigawatts of offshore wind power, which can extend to over 13 to 14 gigawatts in the long run, which is sufficient to meet the electricity demands of millions of domestic households and businesses across countries. The important thing to note here is that this output will be generated from zero energy input due to the absorption of only wind energy with zero carbon emission and mitigating the effects of global warming. So, all in all, this project is a near ideal concept that reaps many benefits with no apparent disadvantage. However, despite its laudable goals and environmental merits, Denmark's Energy Islands project has yet to evade criticism. Some people are skeptical about the project's exorbitant cost and its feasibility within the proposed time, as delays in permitting, regulatory approvals, and technical challenges during the construction phase can extend the timeline and escalate costs, which can impact the project's overall viability. Other people point fingers at the fact that this project has the potential to disrupt the environmental balance by constructing two artificial islands in a really delicate marine ecosystem. This project can cause disturbance in seabed habitats during construction, which will worsen the ongoing impact on marine biodiversity by further decreasing fish populations and migratory routes of marine mammals and birds. Not to mention that the installation of underwater cables and infrastructure necessary for transmitting energy from the island to shore has the risk of contaminating the sea. Lastly, some competitors and analysts say that the extra emphasis on only offshore wind energy can divert focus and resources from other alternative renewable technologies, such as solar and geothermal power, which have the potential to offer more efficient and complementary solutions to Denmark's energy requirements. The question of whether the benefits of Denmark's energy islands outweigh the costs is multifaceted and complex. On one hand, the project epitomizes a daring and innovative response to the urgent challenges of climate change and energy security, as there is going to be no further cost apart from the scheduled maintenance. Additionally, by harnessing the vast potential of offshore wind energy, Denmark aims to diminish its reliance on fossil fuels, stimulate job opportunities, and foster economic growth, while asserting its dominance in renewable energy technology. On the other hand, as previously discussed, the sheer magnitude and expense of the Energy Islands project raises legitimate concerns regarding its viability and long-term sustainability. The environmental impact of erecting artificial islands and offshore wind farms cannot be overlooked, nor can the potential risks associated with such large-scale infrastructure endeavors. Ultimately, the triumph of Denmark's Energy Islands project hinges on its ability to access and evaluate these challenges. If the project is a success, then the reward is humongous, which can completely change the way how the world looks at the nation. The end result is simply too great to be ignored, which is why the Danish government is willing to take the risk and deposit a large chunk of its budget into this project. Of course, the extra costs can be reduced by prioritizing stakeholder engagement, proper management, and day-to-day monitoring. All in all, Denmark's Energy Islands initiative represents a paradigm shift in renewable energy infrastructure. As the country spearheads this ambitious endeavor, the world watches with anticipation, recognizing the potential to usher in a new era of sustainable energy production and foster global collaboration in combating climate change. While the project confronts challenges and detractors, its potential to completely reshape the energy landscape and foster a healthier environment and a progressive future is truly immense and unignorable.